Hey crafters, we're continuing more with our orky goodness, and today we are going to do a orc giant crossbow. So this is going to be a super fun project. This is part one of the project. Now one thing I want to stress on this is I use a lot of bits and bobs in this project. All of it is fairly easy to acquire, but I just want to say that you don't need exactly everything, the same exact things that I use. You could substitute a lot of pieces out and make your own designs and that kind of thing. This is just a great general guide for making your own orc giant crossbow. So let's go to the table and start crafting that. Got some of these craft sticks at the craft store. I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but they're, I guess, ice cream spoons or something. So then I have these bamboo skewers. And I'm going to use these two to start the crossbow. And see that just, I'm going to put that on top there. And that'll be the body of the crossbow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark where that skewer ends, the bamboo skewer. And I'll just cut off the spoon and kind of sand it up a bit. And that'll lay on top of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue that on there with my goop, my friendly goop there that I love to use. And so I'll just generously apply it, stick it on there, and then we got the start of our crossbow. And you can just use a toothpick to get any excess off if it squirts out. And for the bottom, I'm going to put on this round wooden piece that I got at the craft store. So I'll just glue that on with some goop also. Just take off the excess. And I got a small little spindle and some round wheel-like pieces of wood. And I'm just going to glue those together to form the wheels for the bottom of the crossbow, or the ballista. And so make sure those are solid. And I like the goop. It's very viscous, so it holds the stuff together very well while you're gluing it. So I'll just pop some on there and glue it to that circular part on the bottom. Wipe off the excess with a toothpick. And so we're starting to get the shape there. We got some wheels on the bottom. And now I have some more plastic cocktail skewers. And I'm going to get a couple of these. And I'm going to start bending them. Be very gentle when you bend. It's easy to break these. So you just want to apply a little bit of pressure and then bend them a bit. And on this, I'm going to bend the skewers out a little bit. So you can see I want to get that kind of a shape. Okay, then I'll cut the end off. And I'll do it to the other one, and I'll have two. That'll be the bar of the crossbow. So now I'm going to use my goop, and I'm going to glue those two on. So I've got them kind of formed to the shape I want. And I'll glue it to that front piece there. The circular, or the dome piece I put on the bottom. And that's the reason I put that on there. So now I'll glue that goop on there. And I'll turn it over so it can set. And there we go. We got a nice crossbow shape right there. So it's starting to look good. Alright. Now some more details. I have this skull bead. And I'm going to goop glue that on the front here. And that'll be a nice little detail. Little grizzly detail on there. So let that set. And we'll be good to go for that. Also hold the bars on extra well. So I've got a couple beads. I've got these roundish beads and this kind of longer bead. I'm going to glue these two onto it with the goop. And this is going to be kind of like the mechanical bit of the crossbow where the rope is like pulled back. So there we go. Just some small beads there. And I have this other bead. I think it looks like a gear. So I want to use this as the pulley for the crossbow to pull the rope back. Now I got these little rings at the craft store in the jewelry section, and they have these bars in them also, which I think is really cool. And I'm going to use this to just pop it into that bead, and that'll look like it's the crank that'll pull the crossbow back. Okay, so now I'm going to use my goop and fill that hole so I can put the crank in there. And there we go, all set. Now I want to add a detail to the wheels. I have these really small beads and I cut off some toothpicks. I'm going to put a generous helping of goop on there because I want the toothpick to stick also. I'll put the bead on there and then the toothpick in it, and that'll look like a spike coming out of the wheel. I really like that kind of orky detail there. It's little things like this that can really give it personality. Okay. So I'll do the other one. Got both on there. Now I'll put the mechanical piece that we did onto the back of the crossbow. So I'll put some goop on that, generously apply the goop, and put it on the back there. And that will serve two purposes. It'll be cool detail as well as where the end of the arrow will sit, will rest. Okay, or the bolt. And there's the crank for the crossbow, so pretty cool. So it's really coming together now. So now I'm going to take some toothpicks. I'm just going to cut them in half. Okay, and one is a little longer than the other, so I'll trim that a bit. And I just want to, I'll sand them up first. But I'm going to add, this will be a nice little, another orky detail I can add. So I'm going to use some white glue just so it'll be easier than the goop to try to apply these little toothpicks. And then I'm going to put it on the front just past where the bamboo skewer goes, so it looks like, you know, you could ram somebody with the spikes or something. So kind of just an extra orky detail on there. And I'll just blend the extra white glue into the piece, and it'll almost disappear when it dries. So there we go, cool. And I'm going to add a little reinforcement on the bottom. So I got this just a regular craft stick, and I'm going to mark it where the wheels are and just cut it off, sand it a little bit, and then we'll just apply it to the bottom. So I'm going to cut a little bit extra off there. I don't want that round part off the back too much. And there we go. So now I'll just apply that to the bottom with my goop, and we'll let it dry up. So there we go. Just a little bit of extra reinforcement and weight. Okay, cool. It's really coming together, really coming together. Now here I'm going to use this hemp twine, and this will make the bowstring for the crossbow. So I'm going to cut it, and I'll put it through that skewer there, and I'm going to hold it up for a second with my thumb, and then use my hot glue and just glue that end there. Make sure it's glued well, and let it sit for a few seconds. That way it'll be nice and solid for what you have to do next. And I got a little extra on there, so I'll scrape that off. And I'm going to go around that back mechanical piece and then go into the skewer again on the other side and make it tight. And I'm going to pull it up and then use the hot glue again to glue that part. So there we go. We have the nice, easy, super to do bowstring there. Okay, so now I need to cut the excess off. So I'm going to use some small scissors and just trim that off. And same with the other side. So I'll just cut the excess off. And I left a little bit too much there. I'll get that. So let me pop that off. Come here, crossbow. There we go. Okay, got the extra. Hey crafters, I hope you like what you saw. If you did, make sure to give your Scotty a like. If you like this kind of crafting, make sure to join my forum and Facebook group. Also share and subscribe. And I am now a member of Patreon, which supports what I do and is going to help me upgrade my equipment. So if you'd like to, if you get a lot out of these videos and would like to do that, make sure to join. And make sure to watch part 2.
Hey, Roderick captured the giant orky crossbow. Time for some target practice. Yeah.